Hi, today I'm going to read few articles from this book Coming Home Timeless Wisdom for Families by Dr. James Dobson. The article name is For Better for Worse. My friends Keith and Mary Jeans have been married for more than 40 years. Shortly after their honeymoon, Mary was stricken with polio and became a quadriplegic. The doctor informed her that she would be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her life. It was a devastating development, but Keith never wavered in his commitment to Mary. For all these years, he has bathed her, dressed her, carried her to and from her bed, taken her to the bathroom, brushed her teeth, and combed her hair. Obviously, Keith could have divorced Mary in 1957 and looked for a new, healthier wife, but he never even considered it. I admire this man not only for doing the right thing, but for continuing to love and cherish his wife. Though the problems you and I face might be less challenging than those encountered by God's genes family, all of us will have our own difficulties. How will we respond? Some will give up on marriage for some pretty flimsy reason. If you're going to go to the distance, nothing sort of an ironclad commitment will sustain us when the hard times come. Let's review the vows spoken by millions during their marriage ceremonies. They read, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, forsaking all others from the day forward till death do us part. Keith and Mary Hodgins said, and they meant exactly that. The next article title is Barbie and Her Pals. Many years ago, I wrote in one of my books that I didn't like what Barbie doll did to little girls who played with them. Parents still ask why I feel that way. Let me begin by admitting that my daughter played with Barbie dolls for years. Despite my own views on this subject, I just didn't have the heart to take them away from her. Nevertheless, I wished Barbie would go away. There could be no better method for teaching the worship of beauty and materialism then is modeled by these dolls. If we intentionally sought to drill our children, our little girls, on the necessity of growing up rich and gorgeous, we could do no better than has already been done. Did you ever see an ugly Barbie doll? Has she ever been the slightest imperfection? No chance. She oozes femininity and sex appeals. Her hair is thick and gleaming, loaded with body, whatever that is. Her airbus skin without flaws or blemishes, except for a little statement on her bottom says that she was made in Hong Kong. Such an idealized image creates later pressure when a real 13-year-old takes her first long look in the mirror. No doubt about it, Barbie ain't. In short, I am philosophically opposed to these dolls primarily because they establish unrealistic expectation in years to come. That's my first concern. I'll share the second one in my next commentary. Teeny Barbies, the next article. I have discussed my concern about Barbie dolls and their impact on little girls who became absorbed with them. They create an image of physical perfection that most girls will never be able to meet. I'm convinced that many self image problems in the teen years are linked to a standard of beauty that is emphasized throughout childhood. There is another concern that worries me. Barbie dolls and their many competitors ushers girls into adolescent experience long before they are ready for them. Instead of 3 and 4 year old girls playing with stuffed animals, balls, cars, model horses, and the traditional memorabilia of childhood, they are learning to fantasize about life as a teenager. Barbie and her boyfriend can go on dates, learn to dance, drive expensive sports cars, go suntans, take camping trips, exchange marriage vows, and have Barbie hopefully that order the entire adolescent culture with its emphasis on sexual awareness and is illustrated to very young girls who ought to be thinking about more childish things. This places them on an unnatural timetable, likely to reach the peak of sexual interest in several years before it is due, with all the obvious implications of their social and emotional health. Regardless of what you do with Barbie and her gorgeous buddies, I strongly recommend that you postpone the adolescent experience until your child get there. They will have plenty of time afterward to be bona fide teenagers. So this is the third article and the last article. Now, my grandma's time and before that, before Barbie was even in the picture, my grandma, my great grandma, they used to make dolls out of clay, and they used to make dolls which represent their mom, dad, kind of looking like that. And they used to make beautiful clay houses, mud houses for dolls, or cardboard houses. And sometimes grown-ups put some battery light, and that was so beautiful. And they used to cherish those things. Then Barbie came, but Barbie wasn't there that time, years back, for my grandma, great grandma's time. And they played with their handmade dolls, which they made them with clays and made the dolls wear sari and dresses, and they stayed up whole afternoon cooking for dolls and dressing. And those days there were no cell phone, no computers, and few people probably had or didn't have TVs. I don't remember what was on grandma's time. She never talked about TV or anything. If people did have it, they didn't watch that much, and children never watched that. So evening was sort of like kids go to school in the morning, early morning. Kids used to go to school. They came back by 3, and then they took some food and rested an hour, and then they would study for the next day. And then in the evening, for 1 hour or so, they would run around and play in the yard with their friends. And those games were like catching each other, or just tag games. So so basically run around, play, and then when they did sit down and play, they played with dolls which they made out of clay, and they would put saris on them, put jewelry on them. But it was like childly game. It wasn't grown up game or dating and all that thing. So I guess that time was the best time, and now with all this development and all these things and rushing kids to grow up fast, and children's are learning so many things online, through computer, through cell phone, which isn't the best interest for the children. They're growing up fast, learning a lot of bad things. So yeah, the years back, time was the best time. So thank you so much. That was my 3 articles, and see you with many more. This book still has tons of articles.